Hi everyone, this is another dev update for Pixling World, the artificial life simulation that I'm building. So I left a simulation running overnight and I found some pretty interesting results, so I wanted to share them with you guys. So let's speed this up and we can see if we can see some of these results. So what I noticed when I came back was that you could see a lot of them kind of doing this thing where they're carrying around. So the black thing you see here that he's carrying is the carcass of a pig, and the smaller black one there, that's a rabbit, and here's a rabbit that's live. So I came back and I noticed that a lot of them were carrying these around, and it also seems like they are not interested in attacking other pixelings. But let's see if we can see one of them actually seeing one of these critters. Yeah, here you go. So when they see a critter, they seem very interested in them. And they all kind of rush towards the critters to kill them. And the way critters work right now is that if there is a dead critter on the map, then pixelings that die for different reasons, some of them will spawn next, like they will drop a mineral. And a mineral is very important for pixelings because they need one mineral to be able to reproduce. So when a pixeling dies, it might drop a mineral, or this mineral that it would have dropped might spawn at the location of a dead critter. So this is kind of like the reward for killing a critter, that you might get some minerals for it, and with the minerals you can reproduce. I hope that made sense. But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that it seems like they've evolved a completely different strategy. They're not directly chasing each other. Instead, they're kind of going for these critters. And I wanted to show one more thing that I saw evolve here. Let's see if we can actually find it. Yeah, here's so another thing that happened as well was that it seems like they are when they reproduce, they produce these eggs, and it seems like they prefer to carry these eggs around for a long time before they hatch. And so the baby pixeling is developing faster when it is in an egg and when it's being carried, and those two things like both accelerate the development. So normally it takes 20 days for it to become an adult pixeling, but if it's carried, then it's 4 times faster, and if it's in an egg form, then it's 4 times faster again. And then the baby pixeling in the egg can decide when to hatch. But it seems like they've evolved to kind of care for their eggs and just walk around with them like this for a long time. But yeah, those were kind of the behaviors that I've noticed from this simulation that was a little bit longer. And you can really go anywhere in the world, and it seems the same behavior is happening here, where they're all very interested in these critters. So this is I would say both good and bad in a way, because it's good because it's a kind of an interesting behavior and something kind of unexpected. I didn't think this would happen. But the bad thing is that they are now not in direct competition with each other. Like, they are competing for these critters, but the critters' behaviors don't evolve over time. So in a way, it would be better if pixelings competed directly with each other. But anyway, I think it's a very interesting behavior to have evolved. So after that first simulation, I started a second simulation, and the only difference with this one is that I made the brains larger, but otherwise the parameters are exactly the same. And I thought it was interesting because this one turned out completely differently, as you might be able to tell here. It seems like in this one, almost all Pixlings prefer to have something on their heads, which is in a lot of cases are other Pixlings. So the way it works is that if you have anything on your head, then other Pixlings can't attack you until the thing that is on your head is first destroyed. So it is very beneficial. Like they're essentially immortal until what's on their head is first killed. So that's a great defense in the beginning, but then as the Pixlings figure this out, they can then first attack the thing on top of them and then attack the actual Pixling. But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. So we can actually see some of the things that are happening. One thing that is happening here is that let's see if we can see it again. I've noticed that sometimes you'll have oh yeah, there's one. Oh, it's changing too quickly. But sometimes you'll see like these pigs kind of following and trying to kill them, but they can't because pigs. I haven't fixed their AI to be able to figure out to attack the Pixling on top first. But yeah, this is like a completely different result. Like this guy here is carrying a rabbit on his head, and I'm not sure what he's doing with the other rabbit. He's picking it up and dropping it. And I think it's also interesting because I'm very interested to see if these Pixlings will then evolve to have different roles. Like if there will be a species of Pixlings that are always at the bottom, and then a different species that they prefer to have on top of their heads. Or I think now it's only at year 3, so it's probably kind of random what they put on their heads. I think they just want something on their heads. But yeah, here's almost like a little family of a pig following a Pixling with a rabbit on his head, and there's one with a stone on his head. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought this was pretty interesting. Thank you very much for listening.